welcome on to Arsenal Fan TV. Thought we'd do this hangout just to talk about Jack Wilshere, who unfortunately has just suffered another injury and is going to be out for approximately 3 months. Devastating, depressing news again about the England player and Arsenal player, that he's out yet again with another injury. Let me just quote what Arsenal Football Club have said about it. This is on the Arsenal website, arsenal.com. They put, due to the slow healing response from a fracture suffered in August, the club can confirm that Jack Wilshere is to undergo an operation to his left fibula. The decision to intervene has been taken quickly after regular reviews by a specialist who feel that Jack's scans show that the healing process is not progressing as well as expected. Jack will now have surgery in London in the forthcoming days. This will involve inserting a small plate into his left fibula. Jack is likely to be out for approximately 3 months. Everyone at the club wishes Jack well with his rehabilitation, and I can say that for everyone here as well at Arsenal Fan TV, and I'm sure the fans out there as well. But yet another injury to Jack Wilshere. I mean, he's becoming a very injury-prone player at the club. I don't even know how many times now he's had injuries to his foot and to his ankle, but it's becoming a regular thing. And, you know, it happened last year and it's happened again. And you've really got to start thinking to yourself, is this a long-term problem with Jack Wilshere? Lots of questions being asked by fans out there. Is the usual questions that we always hear. Is it the medical team, the reason why these players keep getting these type of injuries? Is it the training that the players do? You know, because remember, it's not just Jack out at the moment. It's Danny Welbeck as well, who was at Manchester United, hardly ever injured, comes to Arsenal. He's been out now for months. So is it the training that they do, or is it just Jack Wilshere himself? Is he just an injury-prone player with very, very brittle ankles and legs? And also the style in which he plays, the way in which he runs. I remember reading something on Twitter from a fan who said that if you watch the way Jack Wilshere runs and the way his feet sort of are, the position of his feet when he's running, it's almost like they're sort of falling over on each other. Listen, it could be a host of anything, or it could be just bad luck. But Jack Wilshere at the moment, he just can't get going. He has a few games, then he's injured. He has a few games, then he's injured. And he just started coming back to his best towards the end of the last season. He looked so sharp, so good, and now he's out with an injury again. And how is this going to affect his career at Arsenal? I mean, as I said, he just can't get going. This could really affect Jack Wilshere's career. And, you know, also you've got to factor in the fact that the Euros are taking place next year. And, of course, Jack Wilshere is passionate about England, really wants to be involved in that. How is this going to affect it? As I said, Arsenal.com saying that he's going to be out for a minimum of 3 months. Now, you know, we all know with Arsenal sometimes that when we are given the you know, dates of a minimum of 3 months, that could turn out to be 6 months. We're hoping it's not going to be the case here, but certainly Jack Wilshere in a lot of cases has not recovered well and has not come back in the time in which has been previously stated. So really, really shocking at the moment, and just another injury. This is 2 key players to Arsenal's team now that are missing. Jack Wilshere and also Danny Welbeck. Both of them out, both of them long-term injuries, and the season has only just begun. And I'm already starting to get fearful of who's going to be next. It's just a pattern. It can't be just bad luck, can it? I mean, it's just a pattern all the time of injuries. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Just having a look on Twitter at the moment, hashtag PBT says we should sell him. Which, listen, we all know that Manchester City were very interested in him and were talking about signing him for 40, 50 million pounds. Should we have cashed in on Jack Wilshere. Listen, he's Arsenal through and through, and we all hope that he can recover quickly, but we just don't want another Diaby. Alex Welb says you should have a section for injuries now at Arsenal. That's how bad, you know. Per Svensson says he needs a full year to recover, or he's going to turn into another Diaby. I'm not sure if he's going to need you know, a full year to recover, but it's just, again, it's just, I feel really sad for Jack Wilshere, the player. Of course, we've got to remember the human side to this, right? We're just thinking of this as fans, but the human side to this is that you've got a guy that's passionate about Arsenal. You've got a guy who loves his football, just wants to be out there on the pitch playing football, and every time he gets going, he's injured, he's out. And it must be a really hard thing to take as a footballer, you know, that you know, you go out there and you're out every minute. And also, as a footballer, it must make you very tentative, because you're just thinking to yourself, I'm just never going to get a season in. Shall I go in for that tackle? If I go in for that tackle and I go into it wrong, I might be out. And that psychologically could be what's going on in Jack Wilshere's head at the moment. And as I said, it's really, really sad to see these injuries that have been going on with Jack Wilshere. Really, really sad at the moment. I mean, lots of you guys are commenting at the moment. Zuna FIFA says, a shame he's injured all the time. We can totally see his potential. Just let him be free of injuries for a whole season. And I can totally see him being on the same level as Aaron Ramsey. Twire Khan says, look at Welbeck, and he goes, now another one. Blaze says it's hard to even get angry about this stuff anymore, because it's the same thing each and every year. You know, you guys, you've got your comments going in, and it just seems to be on and on. Most fans saying the same thing, that, you know, they just can't believe the news that he's out injured. Mr. Red 078 said we should have went for and bought Krejciak, the defensive midfielder. Of course, there was a lot of talk that Arsenal didn't buy a defensive midfielder because they felt that Jack Wilshere also is a player who can cover that position. He can play that sort of deep line position in the Arsenal team. So there was no need to, you know, you got Arteta, and there was no need to go out there and buy another defensive midfielder. But it's certainly, you know, really, really bad news on Jack Wilshere. Lots of messages, as I said, coming in about Jack Wilshere, and I'm just scrolling through them here, and they all seem to be saying the same thing, that it's just disbelief. But on the other hand, not disbelief, because it just seems to happen to Jack Wilshere in particular all the time, and to Arsenal Football Club all the time. And, you know, it's really, really, really depressing, really, really sad. And I don't know, what do we do? What do we do about this situation with Jack Wilshere? Is it time to get him foot and cash in on him because of all the injuries he's had? Or do we keep faith in him? Listen, he's one of England's finest midfielders around at the moment, but unfortunately, he just cannot seem to get going, as I said, because he always seems to be getting injured. And it's really, really, really bad for the club, and it's really, really bad to see this happening. I mean, we've got a tweet here from Mark at Alonso _. He's actually a Spurs fan. He said he's a Spurs fan. He said we should sell him. He said he's got talent, but if you could get 30 million plus for him, should get the money. He's another Diaby, he said. Both talented, but always injured. You know, we don't want to be hearing that from a Spurs fan, but listen, he's making his point. And Abdullah says it's the same old story, just another season. And there's somebody here saying Wenger out. Listen, you can't blame every injury on Arsene Wenger, but certainly lots of injuries seem to happen under his watch. It's incredible. I mean, I'm looking around and I'm looking at all of the clubs at the top in that top 4. And yes, other players have got injuries, but we just seem to always have long-term injuries to absolute key players. And that's what Jack Wilshere can be. He can be a key player for Arsenal. You know, we're going to need a good squad. I mean, you check it out. Tomorrow we've got a Champions League game away there at Dinamo Zagreb. It would have been perfect if Wilshere was fit to play either him and Ramsey in that game, and to be able to rest players, or play Ramsey and be able to bring in Wilshere at the end of the week. But with Wilshere being out, Rosický's out as well, remember, long-term injury. Welbeck's out, long-term injury. It is just a sad state of affairs right at the moment at Arsenal, yet again, as we go into a new season with injuries. And it does beg the question. We bought one player, and that was a goalkeeper. We didn't buy an outfield player. Again, it's a massive error by Arsene Wenger, knowing that you've got a team that over the years suffers badly from injuries. Over the years, this has been a common thing at Arsenal. This is not a one-off. It's been a common thing at Arsenal that over the years we suffered from injuries. So if that's the case, and you know that, and you look at this and you analyze it, we know that this is a stat-driven society nowadays. Why not buy some more outfield players so that you've got more than enough cover, so that when players are out injured, you've got players that can slot in for them? And we've got 3 main players out injured on long-term injuries. Danny Welbeck, now Jack Wilshere, Thomas Rosický. 3 of them are out. If anybody else gets injured in that midfield, all of a sudden, should we have bought, is this the evidence that we needed, that we should have been out there bringing in more players to strengthen our squad, because we know that we've got a bad history of injuries? What do you guys think about that? I'm really interested to know. Leave that in the comments. But it's really, I'm gutted at the moment. I'm gutted for Jack Wilshere, and I'm totally gutted for Arsenal Football Club and us as fans, because this is the main player missing. As I said, leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about the injury. But once again, Jack Wilshere out for a minimum of 3 months, or at least 3 months, with an injury. Is going to have a plate inserted into where is by his fibula, and that is a bad injury. So they said it's a hairline fracture, but it is surgery. And listen, as any doctor will tell you, lots of surgery, even though you heal up, even though you come back, long term, lots of surgery is not good. Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching Arsenal Fan TV. Jack Wilshere out injured. Get well soon to Jack Wilshere. Let's hope that he can come back and be fighting fit for the rest of the season once he makes his recovery.